Hey guys, today I'm filming my second update for my Project Use It Up 2017 / Project 50 pan. If you guys did not see my intro in my first update, I will have my playlist linked up here. This is my year-long project pan. I've been doing it for 3 years, I believe. I really enjoy doing this. I like the way that I have it formatted. I still feel inspired and I do still feel motivated to finish up these products because of how frequently I do updates, because of the way I've structured this, and because I do try to include these items in different project pans. I did just finish up a Project 10 Pan Roulette collab. If you guys did not see any of those videos, I will have that playlist linked up here. And in that challenge, I used up a ton of things, so you will see all of those empties in this video, and I did include some of my Project Use It Up items in that challenge. I also just started a new project pan that is a Project 10 Pan All High-End Viewer's Choice Roulette. If you guys have not seen my intro for that, I will have it linked up here, and I did include some of these items into that project as well. So I'm going to start with my Project Use It Up items and show you the items I was able to complete in the past 2 months. For my Project Use It Up items, I was able to finish off 7 things within these past 2 months, which I think is really impressive. First, I did finish off the Skindinavia Makeup Priming Spray. This is the oil control version. I did like this as a first step, but I didn't really notice that it made my makeup last longer on my skin. This wasn't a bad product, but I don't think it did anything significant enough for me to actually purchase this, because I know these sprays are pricey. A lot of people swear by it, but it doesn't really do much for me, so I'm definitely not going to repurchase it. The Becca Backlight Priming Filter, this was part of that Project Pan Roulette. This is a very glowy primer, which is not ideal for oily skin, but I have actually tried several glowy primers recently, and this one is my favorite. I think that this gave a beautiful glow, but I don't think it actually made me extra oily. But because I have so much full coverage matte makeup over top of this, the glow doesn't show through, so I don't get the effect to make it necessary for me to buy this. The next thing I had finished is the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation in the shade Light 45. My correct shade is Light 43, which is one of her newer shades. It is very fair with a yellow undertone. I love this foundation. It does give very full coverage. It has more of a satin finish. It holds up against oil pretty well, but it isn't the best for oil control. This gives amazing full coverage. I love the way it makes my skin look, but this does really emphasize pores and wrinkles. So if you do have more mature skin, I don't think I would recommend this for you. I used up this foundation by combining it with the Hard Candy Glamoflague Mix in Pigment Makeup Drops. I do have an entire review on that product. I will have that linked up here. So this shade is a little too dark and too peach for me, but mixing it in with that Hard Candy Drops did lighten the shade, but it also lightened the texture. This is a really thick consistency, but when I mixed it with the Hard Candy, it made it more of a lighter consistency, but it still had that really great full coverage, but it was a lot easier to work with, and I was able to apply it with a sponge, which made it look more flawless and airbrush than if I was to have applied it with a brush. So that's my favorite combination, is this foundation, the Hard Candy Drops, and the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I think is fantastic. I have a lot of foundations right now, but I will definitely purchase this again in the future. I think it is fantastic. My next empty is the one that I am the most proud of. I finally finished the Nye Cameo Powder. You guys, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a long time, know I've had this for years and years. This is only the 1.5 ounce container. I really like this powder. It is very fair with a pink undertone. It is great to set the under eyes. It does give some coverage. It has a nice satin, almost matte finish. I really do love that product, but I did have one issue with it that I wanted to talk about. So whenever I use a loose setting powder under my eyes, I always apply it with a damp beauty sponge, and that's what I did with this powder. And if I applied too much powder, it would be really cakey, really thick, and also look basically white. So I was trying to brush off the excess with one of my brushes, and it was was not happening. It didn't brush off. Instead, it patched off the powder and my concealer and foundation, and my under eyes looked disgusting. This happened a lot of times, so I had to be really careful with it. For that reason, I don't think I would repurchase it, at least not right now, because it was just too worrisome about whether I would apply too much and have it mess up my makeup. Maybe that is totally user error because I didn't have that problem for a while, but I was using a brush. So I would think about repurchasing it in the future because it is a really fantastic powder, but I'm definitely not going to purchase it right now. I also finished the Wet n Wild Fergie Mattifying Take on the Day powder. I use this to set my under eyes as well. This is an extremely shallow pan. It is really easy to go through these. This is a great dupe of the NARS Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder Pressed. I prefer this one actually because it doesn't have that layer of film on the top like the NARS does that you have to dig through to get to the good stuff. This is good from the jump, and obviously it is a lot cheaper. I would not recommend applying this all over your face because it does have a glow, some shimmer, and it definitely does leave a white cast. If you have deep skin, let me know how this powder works for you because I definitely think this can give a white cast. This used to be my holy grail under eye setting powder. I do not love it as much anymore. I'm working through the backups that I had, and I will definitely not repurchase this. Again, I'm looking to try a new under eye setting powder. And this next product is probably tied with the Ben Nye powder for the item I'm most excited to have used up. This is the Milani Bella Eyes eyeshadow in Bella Cappuccino. I have never completely used up a powder eyeshadow except for Wet n Wild Brulee, so this is really, really exciting for me. So Bella Cappuccino is a really light tan color that is neutral, leaning slightly cool, but I would say it is mostly neutral, and it does have a satin finish. This is a fantastic transition color for my skin tone. I loved using this with the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells trio because that trio is all shimmer, so I like to help ground that look with a little bit of matte. I don't think I'm going to purchase it right away because I have a ton of eyeshadows, but I definitely will repurchase this in the future. I do like this formula. I actually have an entire review on these eyeshadows. I will have linked up here because it was a really thorough review. And the last item from my Project Use It Up that I finished is the Sephora Rouge Brilliance lipstick in the shade number 14, which I think is Love Letter maybe. It is a light blue tone pink. This did not have much product in it at all, and I was able to work through it really quickly. This lipstick made my lips so chapped. It was not very pigmented. It was too creamy in the fact that it completely faded except it left that lip liner look. It feathered outside of my lip line, and I don't even have that problem. I don't have any other experience with this line of Sephora lipsticks, but I did not like it, and I definitely will not repurchase it. I believe this also has a little bit of a scent. I can't really tell right now, but I don't like these lipsticks at all. Really happy it was used up. I do like that kind of color, but this formula was crap for me. So now I'm going to show you the progress on the other items from my Project Use It Up. So first I have the CoverFx Illuminating Primer. This is something in my current project pan. I've only used this once. I don't have any opinions on it yet, and I don't have any progress to show you. Next, I have the Lorac Porefection Concealer in the shade Light, which is a light yellow color. And I have been using this every single day as a corrector under my eyes. And several times I have been using this as a corrector for the redness in my skin. And I actually did a much better job using it than I had in my last update. So the past 2 months, I've done a pretty good job using this, but this definitely is a little bit dark for me. So what I've been doing is applying one strip of this forehead, each cheek, chin, down the nose, and then I'm going in with a few dots of the Kat Von D Lock-It Cream Concealer in the whiteout shade. Mixing those two together works really well for me. I just need to make sure I don't apply too much white because then it isn't actually correcting or concealing any of that redness. I have taken the stopper out of this product. I was applying this every day and having a really hard time getting enough product to come out of the tube and onto my skin. So I thought, oh, maybe I'm working through this a lot faster than I thought. No, I took out the stopper and this is full of product. It's just that this packaging wasn't very good and it was taking too too much product off of the applicator, but now it is working really well. I just have to be careful when I open it and try to scrape off some of the product on the sides while it's still in the tube. It's extremely messy, but I am able to apply a lot more product to my skin this way. I do like this. It isn't my favorite. I am definitely not going to repurchase this, but it does do the job of correcting my darkness and also the redness on my skin. And next I have my last Wet n Wild Fergie Mattifying Take on the Day powder. So I was able to use up the other. I finished the Nye Cameo and I've hit significant pan on this powder in 2 months, and that's because these are just that easy to go through. So while I could finish this really fast, in my current project I am using a different under eye setting powder. So this one might take a little while to finish up, but it'll be done by the end of the year for sure, and I've already given you my opinions on this powder. And my next product is the RCMA No Color Powder. You guys, I've made so much progress. So this is where I started. This is my first update and this is where I am now. I told you guys in the intro, I just wanted to use up half of where I started from. I've already done that. I definitely think I can actually finish this by the end of the year, which is really exciting. I think it's gonna be at least 2 more updates, maybe even 3 updates until I get this completely finished. So maybe close to the very end of the year, but I will definitely be able to have this done. I'm using this every single day to set my forehead and on my filming days, and actually some of my school days as well. I'm using this to set my entire face. Because I'm in summer school, I only have class until 2 o'clock, so I don't need my makeup to last as long. So I am using this to set my face. You guys know how I feel about this powder. I don't love it. It isn't ideal for my skin type. I also don't really enjoy this for an under eye setting powder, so I'm just trying to work through it, but I'm really happy with my progress. My last face product is the Skindinavia Oil Control Makeup Finishing Spray. I have somewhere between a half and a third left of this product. It is in my current project pan, so I think I can have this one finished off on my next update. I love the mist on this bottle. It is one of the best mists I've tried. This is a good finishing spray, but I don't think that setting sprays are ideal for me. I don't think that they do a lot, but I am excited to finish this up because I did recently receive a bunch from Pixi that I want to start working on. So now moving on to brows and eyes, I have the Milani Brow Pomade in the shade number 2, Natural Taupe. Since my last update, I did mix this around to make it creamy again, and there is no pan showing, which is okay. I am very, very close. I've been kind of burrowing down with my brush, but in my current project pan, I am using a different brow product. So this is probably going to be on hold for a little while, but all I wanted from this product was to hit significant pan by the end of the year, which I do still think is doable. This is a really good formula brow pomade, but brow pomades just are not my favorite. Next, I have the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Barely Beige, which was a limited edition color. I just wanted to finish off half of the product. I am not halfway finished, but I've definitely made more progress since my last update. If I can just finish off this little amount right here, that would be fantastic. I don't know if it's going to happen because I am not really wearing that Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells look anymore because I'm no longer going to my practicum site. I am done for the semester. So I am hoping to get more progress on this, but we'll see. I'm trying to use my single shadows of the month as well. And then I have the ColourPop eyeshadow in Amaze, a beautiful rose gold in a metallic finish. My goal is to just hit pan on this. I haven't used it at all. I am not worried because if I have to use this every day during the fall when I'm at school to hit pan, no problemo. I can definitely do that, so I'm not worried about it yet. And then we have 3 lip products. I have the NYX Wonder Pencil in the shade Light. I've not really been marking this because I am not worried about it that much. So since my last update, I was right after the E and now I'm right before the D. So I've used up a little bit of this. I have sharpened it once. I am using it today. I just use it to clean around my lip line. I do like the formula of this, but this shade is a little bit too light for me and it ends up highlighting around my lips, which is not what I want because it's just emphasizing the unevenness of my lips. So I like the formula, but the color isn't perfect for me. My next lip product is the ColourPop Lippie Primer. As of my last update, I said I hadn't used it at all. Since then, I have used it a few times, but I don't love it. I think it's kind of thick feeling on my lips, and I don't think it actually primes. So I have decided I am going to go ahead and throw this away. It doesn't do anything for me. I've had it for a little while and it is completely broken from the base. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. And then my last lip product is the Pixi Lip Lift Max Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Sheer Rose. And this is a deluxe size. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I'm able to start seeing through the packaging. This is in my current project pan. I don't think I will have any trouble finishing this off. So now for my Project 50 pan items. These are the makeup products I have finished off, not including the items for my Project Use It Up. So not including my 7 items for my Project Use It Up. Within these past 2 months, I have finished up an additional 12 items. So for my 12 makeup empties from these past 2 months, the first thing I finished is the Hard Candy Glamoflague foundation in the shade Porcelain. I completely scraped this out. You guys know how much I love this foundation. It is my perfect mixing foundation because it is very, very fair and quite yellow. This does have a nice medium buildable to full opacity, a really great satin finish. This is a fantastic mixing foundation with just about every foundation I've ever combined this with. Absolute holy grail product, and of course I've already repurchased it. I finished the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the shade 100 Translucent. This is my holy grail face powder. This shade is not actually translucent. Very fair with a yellow undertone. This helps keep me matte. It gives me more coverage. I will definitely continue to repurchase this. Next thing I finished is a really exciting item. This is the Revlon PhotoReady bronzer in the shade Bronzed and Chic. It had 4 different tones of matte bronzer. I was using up the top 2 shades in a project pan, and I did finish them, but the bottom shades had broken. They kept breaking, and I decided that I was going to go ahead and throw it out because I do already have a backup of this, and I love this product. The shades are fantastic. I use the lighter 2 to bronze, the bottom 2 to contour. This was a fantastic, fantastic formula. I am so mad at Revlon for discontinuing this. This is a great product. If you can find it on eBay or Amazon, I definitely recommend it. It's an incredible drugstore bronzer. I have 2 brow products I finished off. The first was in a project pan. This is the Benefit Kabrow Brow Pomade in the shade number 1. This is just a deluxe sample size. I did completely clean it out. There is still some product on the side, but I was unable to get to it with my brush. I love this shade. It is a very light, warm tone blonde that doesn't pull too red on me. This is the lightest blonde brow pomade I've ever used, and I do like the formula of this as well. Very pigmented. This formula is definitely on par with other brow pomades. I think I might even like it a little bit more than the Milani because it isn't as thick. This is a good product, but as I said, I don't really like brow pomade, so I'm not going to repurchase it. But if you're interested in a high-end brow pomade, I do think it's a good one. And then I finished off the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara in the shade Blonder Over Yonder. This is a really nice tinted brow gel. It's a really great cool tone color. I do enjoy this, but I do prefer the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Blonde. So I'm not going to be repurchasing this, but I do think it is good. For eye products, I finally finished the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is just a deluxe sample size I received with a palette. This lasted me over a year, which is incredible. I really love the formula of the original Urban Decay eyeshadow primers. I think it is phenomenal to help keep my eyeshadow locked in place all day without creasing, and it also helps keep my oils from coming through. Sometimes the oils on my eyelids can come through the primer and shadow, but not with this. I really do like it. I don't know if I would go out and purchase it because there are drugstore eye primers that I love, but it is a good one. And next I finished off this Wet n Wild eyeshadow in the shade Brulee. I've finished off several singles of this. This one is in the Vanity palette. I did finish that off in a project. It is the perfect matte cream. It matches my skin tone really well. I use it on a daily basis to set my eyeshadow primer. It works really great for that. I definitely will continue to repurchase it, and I already have. Then I have some eyeliners in mascaras. I finished off the Jessie's Girl Liquid Liner. This is their waterproof black liner. It is a brush tip. I really do like this liner. I think it is fantastic, very opaque. It is waterproof. It is really easy to create a wing and to line my eyes, but I don't know if you guys can tell. The tip of this is kind of fat, It didn't start out that way, but as I used it more and more, the bristles started to splay out. So I had to take it into the cap and try to reshape it every time I used it. It did work for a really long time, but in those last 2 weeks when I was trying to get out all the product, the brush kind of went crazy on me. I do like this. I definitely recommend it. I think I like the Physicians Formula Eye Booster a tiny bit more because the bristles don't do that to me, but I think the formula is very, very comparable. I do recommend this, but I think I'm going to buy the Physicians Formula instead. Then I have a couple mascaras. I finished off a deluxe sample size of the Benefit They're Real Mascara, which is a plastic bristle wand, and it is a wet formula. This mascara does give some great length and separation, but I don't think it is out of this world, and I think there are other drugstore mascaras that can do just as good of a job of this, so I will not repurchase it. I have the Pure Cosmetics Fully Charged Mascara. This is a natural bristle wand with a wet formula. The consistency of this almost feels like a gel. So I had originally tried out this mascara in a deluxe sample size I received with a palette. I ended up hating the palette, so I did return that set, but I love the mascara so much I decided to buy it in the full size. I do not think that the formula of the full size and the deluxe sample size is the same. I think that the sample size was way better than this, which is so disappointing. It gave incredible length and volume and really black lashes. I am not going to repurchase this full size. I don't think it worked as well, which is so disappointing, but if I can get any of those deluxe sizes, I will definitely snag them up because the formula is so good. So I know a lot of people have said that about other mascaras from high-end brands. Let me know if you've had that experience with this Pure Fully Charged, because it was so good and this one just wasn't as good. And my last mascara is one that I've only used for a month, but it is a really, really tiny size and I'm just done with it. This is the Sephora Lash Craft Length and Volume Mascara. As I said, really, really tiny guy. And this was in a Sephora play box. First off, look how tiny the place is where you can hold it. Are you kidding? If you are clumsy, you are going to drop this and get it all over your counter, the clothes, drop it on the floor. Who knows? But this little nub to hold on to, no, not very good. So this is a natural bristle brush. It is a wet formula. The wand is really wide but kind of skinny. It is very odd. I don't think it gives a ton of length or a ton of volume. It is just a basic mascara that I don't really care for and I don't want to continue using this. But I did use it consistently for a little over a month, so I'm good with calling that an empty. And then this last product is something for my lips that I have been working on for such a long time. This is the Yes to Coconut Hydrate and Restore Cooling Lip Oil. I'm pretty sure that G from Novu Cheap had written a rave review about this product, and as Kirsten liked it, I found it on sale at Walmart a long time ago, so I decided to get it. I don't quite get the hype of this. The coconut scent is nice. This was an oil. It felt good while it was on, but I kind of felt like once the oil was gone, my lips felt a little bit dry. Not chapped, but kind of dry. So I didn't mind using this, and you get a lot for your money. Like, this lasted me forever, but it's not something I would repurchase. I don't think it did anything special for my lips. So guys, that was my second update for my Project Use It Up 2017 / Project 50 pan. Give yourself 5 gold stars for sitting through this whole video. I know it was really long and I'm really, really sorry I rambled too much. I would love to know your thoughts if you tried out any of these products, and please let me know if you guys are doing any Project Pan videos this year because I would love to check them out, or if you guys are on Instagram, just let me know what you guys are panning. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.